The shadow in the hallway was 14 when it happened. My family lived in a quiet suburban house in the UK, and my bedroom was tucked away at the very end of a narrow hallway. It was late one night, around 2:30 a.m., and I was scrolling on my phone under the covers when I heard its footsteps. At first, I thought it was my dad coming to check on me, but these footsteps weren't right. They were slow, dragging, uneven, as though someone was deliberately moving quietly. I put my phone down and listened, my heart already racing. Curious, I crept towards my door and peeked out into the hallway. That's when I saw it. A tall, thin shadow stood in the middle of the corridor, completely still, completely silent, but I swear I could hear breathing. Deep, heavy, raspy breathing that echoed in the silence of the house. "Dad?" I whispered, my voice cracking. The shadow didn't move. It didn't answer. Instead, it tilted its head, slowly, almost unnaturally, like a puppet with its strings pulled. I panicked, slammed my door shut and screamed for my father. Within seconds, he burst into my room, turned on the light, and demanded to know what was wrong. When I explained, he checked the hallway. Nothing was there. But here's the part that still chills me to this day. The carpet in that hallway was thick, old, and soft. You can hear footsteps on it, yet I had heard each one. 2. The babysitter's last night. This one happened to a girl I knew back when I was in college. She used to babysit for a family in the countryside. It was one of those houses with massive glass windows spacing the woods, beautiful in the day, terrifying at night. One evening, after putting the kids to bed, she was sitting in the living room watching TV when she heard a faint tap, tap, tap against the glass. She froze. Maybe it was a tree branch, she thought. But then the noise came again, louder, sharper. She turned off the TV, and that's when she saw it. A man's face, crushed against the glass, pale skin, eyes wide open, his lips curled into a smile that didn't look human. She screamed, grabbed her phone, and dialed the police. When she looked back at the window, the face was gone. The officers arrived 15 minutes later, searched the entire area, but found nothing. The family came home shortly after, shaken by what they heard, and then they noticed something the police had missed. On the outside wall, under the living room window, were muddy footprints, dozens of them, going back and forth, as if the man had been pacing, watching for hours. The roommate's secret: when I started university, I shared a small flat with another student named Mark. At first, he seemed perfectly normal, quiet, polite, kept to himself, but as the months went by, strange things began happening. Every night, around AM, I hear him whispering in his room. At first, I thought he was on the phone, but the more I listened, the more I realized these weren't conversations. They were chants, repeated words, sometimes in a language I couldn't recognize. One night, curiosity got the better of me. His door was slightly open, and I pushed it just enough to peek inside. Mark was sitting cross-legged on the floor in complete darkness. Candles surrounded him, and the walls were plastered with drawings, symbols, distorted faces, hollow eyes. When he noticed me, he didn't yell, didn't act embarrassed. He just stared at me with a blank expression and said, in a low, trembling voice, "Don't ever come in here again." After that night, things only got worse. He stopped eating with me. He stopped going to lectures, and then, 1 week later, he disappeared completely. He left everything behind: clothes, laptop, wallet. The police said he'd probably dropped out and ran away, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something else happened, because on the last night I saw him, I woke up to the sound of his chanting again, louder than ever, except this time, I swear, there was another voice chanting back.